It starts when I wake at night and hear voices down the phone. I remember stories of my parents, of Siberia sobbing in mud, awakening, nerves bursting lemon-like in rain to a waltz beat. There were sirens that sounded with few to hear them, and those that heard them didn't have to worry for long. There were concrete towers, glancing down at picket lines and the scabs bleeding out, deflating portraits of wars long past. There were red scarves, alabaster windows, cigarette ash smeared down bricks, a centipede line murmurs until it screams, long before we inherited the world. There were common markets. There were third world words, venomous and distant, neo-words, parallel to intent, paraphrasing new sex and slasher films, surveillance state hymns. It had plenty of words to choose from. There were many words for the same utterance. Why now? In the quaking motion of chart toppers, iron unions marbled savagely, and plastic explosives in the Catholic underground where bell whistles could be heard over the wind through sodden estates low in the city grass, voices disturbed the cold vapour. The same voices before and after my life as I peer into time happening all at once to a waltz beat. Why now? There were nylon forests. Words were spoken from this new language. There were bullets, weaved in sparks. Everyone gathered like flies. But the story I know best is of shelters, of Stanislav, of retaliation. If you had a casualty, you labelled the body and guided it through pandemonium. Protect, survive, and prepare, because it wasn't a matter of if, but when. Doors painted stark white. Don't talk to strangers. There were strangers. Prepared for the worst, checked manuals for fear of faces being torn like shards of glass, flying at a pumpkin in a VHS I once saw at school, so you and I took shelter and asked, why now? Why us? It ends with rain, and me sitting on the edge of the bed, hearing voices and stories in languages I can't understand, about fleeing darkness of causal implosion, a symptom of wheat and rye, love and heartbeats and a long irradiated winter. There will be brightness, as sound vanishes in flame. There will be swallows flying in reverse, passing over a field of candles. There will be no words anymore. Why now? Why us?